Do I think I'm actually going to run a marathon? No, probably not. It's by far the longest distance I've ever run at one time, 16 miles. I said this is what I want to do, so why am I nervous about doing it? I don't know. It's complicated. I hate running, but I'm working on my third midlife crisis, so for some reason I think going for a run is going to make me feel better. In the back of my mind, I've always thought running a marathon would be a really cool achievement, kind of in a bucket list kind of way. You know, something to do one time to say you accomplished it. So I found a free online running plan, a couch to marathon over 6 months. It breaks it down, couch to 5K, 5K to 10K, 10K to half marathon, and then half to full marathon. Got my new kicks fresh out the box. Did my first run today. If I was doing it on my own, I would just keep the same pace, run the same distance for the same amount of time, day after day, not really improve that much, and just get bored with it. So I'm going to try to follow this plan. Do I think I'm actually going to run a marathon? No, probably not. But we'll see.
Go, Dada! Are you dying?
I'm too hung up on the times. I just gotta let that go and just run slower. Who cares? But yeah, 5K down, onto the 10K. Yeah, I've never really ran that distance. I've never trained for that distance. You know, I'm gonna start getting into distances I've never done before pretty quickly. Still sticking to the schedule. We're going on vacation to the beach soon, so that's gonna be a little tricky to stick to the plan through that, but the 10K didn't go very well. I had to walk a lot for the 10K, so I felt like I still haven't really run a 10K yet. Yeah, we're through the 10K, onto the half marathon, keep going. It's the long runs on the weekends that I haven't figured out yet. It happened with the 10K, it happened the week after with a 6-mile run, so I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. But yeah, it's going well. These boys are still putting up with me.
We don't want that surprise just yet.
We're gonna keep it going. See if we can do it. So I found this cool race in North Carolina. It's actually 2 different races. It's a 5K and a 10 mile, but when you do them back to back, it's 13 miles, and that's the half marathon distance. I made a whole separate video about that race, which is actually pretty interesting. So we're done with the half marathon portion. Now we got 2 months to go to the marathon. And so now the training plan, it either calls for more running in between your regular running workouts or cross-training workouts. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is get into more cross-training workouts, keep the running to 3 days a week. Last week I had a 12-mile long run that felt pretty good. This week I had a 14-mile long run that felt terrible from the start. I'm also trying to break in a new pair of shoes, so not exactly encouraging, but still haven't actually signed up for a marathon yet, but I might do that next week. You know, I'm still pretty anxious about signing up. The last 2 long runs I had did not go very well. I was, you know, I cut them both short. So I still haven't run any more than 12 miles at one time. So yeah, I'm also kind of anxious because I don't want to fail. I kind of just want to have one shot at it and do it and get it done. Even though it's something I want to do and say I've done it and achieve it, you know, it still gives me anxiety, you know, actually following through on it. So just things I need to overcome. And so today's long run was called the Marathon Simulation on the training plan, and it was 16.1 miles at marathon pace, which for me is always just slow, easy pace, because like I said, my goal is just to finish. But I was pretty encouraged today. I actually completed the whole workout, jogged the whole time, didn't stop to walk. It's by far the longest distance I've ever run at one time, 16 miles. Do you know that? I've never run more than 12 miles at a time. That's been the farthest before, but now I've run 16 miles at a time. So I think I'm going to sign up for the race tonight and really make it official. It'll be 4 weeks away from this weekend. I got one more hard week of training and then 2 weeks of taper and then maybe one extra week off.
How do you feel?
It's official now. I'm still nervous about being able to run this distance because I've never done a whole 26 miles, but whatever. I said this is what I want to do, so why am I nervous about doing it? I don't know. It's complicated. This weekend was the longest long run I've ever done. It was 20 miles, and I wasn't quite prepared for it. I didn't quite have enough food, so I ended up jogging about 18 miles of it and walked about 2 miles of it, but I was still pretty proud of myself for covering the full 20-mile distance. It was the longest long run I've ever done. I think I'm as prepared as I can be. I've only missed a few of the workouts in the 6-month plan, so I feel like I've been working hard. And yeah, there's not much left but to just show up for the race and get it done. The race was good. It went well. It went well as it could be expected. I had fun. Richmond advertises as the friendliest marathon, and I thought that was true. I started out feeling good. I feel like I was going exactly the pace I wanted to go. It was right around 13 minutes a mile, so I could maintain 13 minutes a mile for a long time. Between miles 7 and 9, you cross the Huguenot Bridge, and then you run along the James River, and it was a really pretty section. The other best part was it was very friendly. There were a lot of people asking, you know, are you okay? Do you need anything? How you doing? There were lots of hard parts. One hard part was around mile 15, trying to eat one of those gels. They didn't upset my stomach, but they were just terrible in my mouth, and I almost threw up because it was just gross. I didn't want to eat any more of those, but you know, you got to eat something. After 15 miles, I was the legs hurt pretty bad, so I started doing a run and then walk. I was kind of following these two other people. They were doing probably 2 minutes jogging and then a minute walking or something like that. So I was just trying to copy their pace. So I followed them for the next 10 miles. And then the last mile was all downhill to the finish, so it felt pretty good. Will I do it again? Right now, I would say no. I've done it once. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with my 6-hour time. But would I do it again? Depends on how I feel. It depends on if someone else wanted to have that experience and they asked me to help them. I'd be willing to do that. But it would have to be the right situation. I'd have to feel like doing it again. But right now, I'd say no. The hardest part of training was, going out every single day or every other day, even though it was dark, even though it was cold, even though it was hot. Trying to be consistent. That's usually the hardest part for me, is being consistent. But it really helped to follow a plan. I had a plan mapped out every single day for 6 months. Told me exactly what to do, and I think that helped me a lot. I decided to run a marathon because I was having another midlife crisis. I'm 37. I've just been feeling older these days, not as active as I'd like to be. I also have this ideal that the ability to run a marathon just shows you're in great physical condition and you have the fortitude to continue doing something that's hard. And I just have respect for people that can do a marathon. I just feel like those people are super fit and dedicated, and they're able to tolerate pain and suffering. And so, yeah, I just wanted to have that life experience one time, and really I was just feeling old. I was having a midlife crisis. My time was 6 hours and a few seconds, and so I was really happy with that. That's kind of what I was shooting for. So I thought it went well. The best part was finishing. It felt great. It felt like a relief. Obviously I was going really slow compared to everyone else, but 6 hours was about my goal, and so I was happy to achieve my goal. And really I had pride in setting a goal, sticking with the plan over a long period of time, which usually I struggle with, and sticking with a consistent 6 months training plan and finishing what I started. So it was a relief. What am I gonna do now? I don't know. Whatever I feel like doing. Really, what I want to do next is get back into rock climbing and train hard for some rock climbing goal. I've always said climbing V5 has been a goal of mine, but I've never really come close to V5. I want to get into rock climbing again and do rock climbing specific training so that I could actually get close to climbing V5. That's my next goal. You're really distracting as an interviewer, doing a little dance behind the camera. What was I gonna say?
No?
I'm doing it. I'm gonna sign up.